Welcome to video class 2 on the poem Ecology. Again, I am Venkatesh P, Assistant Professor of English, Government First Aid College, Kapu, Udupi District. Dear students, in the video class 1 on the poem Ecology, we have seen three things. One is a brief life history about the poet A.K. Ramanujan. Second thing is something introduction regarding the poem Ecology. And the third is we have read out the poem and we have come to see some difficult words meaning which we found in the poem. My dear students, in this video 2 on the poem Ecology, we have to see the explanation or description stanza by stanza, if it is possible line by line. Before going to the description or the explanation, my dear students, you have to keep two things in your mind. One thing is this poem has consisted 32 lines written in a single sentence. That is the craftsmanship of A.K. Ramanujan. That is the style of A.K. Ramanujan. Second thing is, when the poem begins, we should feel that the speaker of the poem or the poet was not in his home. He was somewhere away from his home, maybe on a particular job. Now he is coming back to his home or returning to his home. This is a situation from where the poem actually begins. Let us see the explanation of the poem stanza by stanza. The day after the first rain for years, I would come home in a rage. The speaker is telling, the poet is telling, he is returning to his home. At what time he returns and how he returns, in which mood he returns. These are the questions we should raise in our mind. Let us see. The day after the first rain for years, I would come home in a rage. For a long while, the poet hadn't come to his home. Now he is returning. The time of his returning is, as we come to know in the first line itself, it's the time after the first rain in a monsoon is over. After the very first rain of the monsoon in a year, That is the time that the poet is returning to his home. I would come home in a rage. That I means here the speaker or the poet. He is coming to his home at this time. This is a time in which that the poet is returning to. Then in which mood he is returning? What is the mood of the poet? Is he coming very happily or unhappily? Let us see. I would come home in a rage. The poet is coming to his home with full of angry. He is in angry mood. In that angry mood, that the poet is returning to his home. So these are the two things we have come to know in the first stanza of the poem. The first is the time in which he comes. The second is the mood in which he comes. The time is immediately after the first rain in a monsoon of a year. The second is he is coming in full of angry mood. These are the two things. After knowing this is the explanation of this stanza, first stanza. After knowing this, we, being the students, should raise a question. What is the reason for his angry? What is the reason for a poet's angry mood? So this question we have to keep in our mind. That will be answered in the further part of the poem. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ, ಕವಿ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಕೆಲಸದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಈಗ ಮನೆಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಮನೆಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರುವಂಥ ಸಮಯ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ವರ್ಷದ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಮಳೆ ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ, ಬಿದ್ದ ನಂತರ ಕವಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಮೂಡು, ಯಾವ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಕವಿ ಕೋಪದ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಭಾಳ ಸಿಡುಕಿನಿಂದ, ಭಾಳ ಸಿಟ್ಟುಗೊಂಡು ಆ ಒಂದು ಮೊದಲ ಮಳೆ ಬಿದ್ದ ನಂತರ ತನ್ನ ಮನೆಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ತನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು, ಹೊರಗಡೆಯ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು. Let us move to the second stanza with the question that what is the reason for his angry. Let us read the second stanza. For I could see from a mile away our three red champak trees had done it again. See, after reading this stanza, we come to know a clue, little bit clue regarding his angry, which is expressed in the first stanza. What is that? For I could see from a mile away. The poet has not reached his house. He is a mile away. While he is in a mile away distance, he came to know that, he understood that three red champak trees which are grown in his yard or around his house have done a work again. These three champak trees have done a work again. They repeated a work. So because of their repetition of the work, the poet understood this while he a mile away from his house. Because of that, he is angry. He is raised. After knowing this second stanza, again we have to keep another question in our mind. What is the work that is done by champak trees again? That question we have to keep in our mind, and that will be answered in the further part of the poem. ಸೊ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನು ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಐ ಕುಡ್ ಸಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎ ಮೈಲ್ ಅವ್, ಇನ್ನು ಕವಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನು ಮೈಲು ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆ ಮೈಲು ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ ಮನೆಯ ಅಂಗಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅವನ ಮನೆಯ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಬೆಳೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ 3 ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಮರಗಳು, ಚಂಪಕ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಮರಗಳು. You can observe that trees which is given in the picture, that is full of flowers. Such kind of 3 trees are there around his house. So these 3 champak trees, ಈ 3 ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಮರಗಳು ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಪುನಃ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಪುನಃ ಈ ವರ್ಷವೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕವಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ ಮೈಲು ದೂರದಿಂದ ಇದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ಆ ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಮರಗಳು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕವಿ ಕೋಪಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಚರಣ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಮರಗಳು ಮಾಡಿರುವ ಕೆಲಸ ಯಾವುದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕವಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೋಪಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ಚರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಭಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. Had burst into flower and given mother her first blinding migraine of the season. So these champak trees had burst into flower. These champak trees had burst into flower as yearly. That is, some plants and some trees have yearly activities. Some have daily activities. So here these champak trees have done the work. That work is had burst into flower. They have bloomed. Burst means here bloomed. That is given, the meaning is given in the circle. Observe it. The burst means explode. Actual meaning is burst means explode. ಸಿಡಿಯುವುದು. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೋಯಮ್ ಬ್ಲೂಮ್ಡ್, ಹರಳುವುದು, ಅರಳಿರುವುದು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಚಂಪಕ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟು ಫ್ಲವರ್. ಈ ಹೂವಿನ ಗಿಡಗಳು, ಮರಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೂವನ್ನು ಹರಳಿಸಿರುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗಿವೆನ್ ಮದರ್ ಆರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಲೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೈಗ್ರೇನ್. ಸೊ because of these flowers, that his mother is suffering from a blinding migraine. That the blinding migraine is severe. Blinding means here severe, unbearable. Migraine means headache. Blinding migraine, severe headache. From the severe headache she is suffering. The reason for her migraine is these champak trees, they have bloomed the flowers. Because of that, his mother is suffering from a severe headache. So this is of the season. That is the champak trees giving the flowers in season, and at that season his mother is getting the headache. Both are season. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥದ ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ, ಈ ಮರಗಳು ಹೂವನ್ನು ಹರಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಆ ಹೂವನ್ನು ಹರಳಿಸಿರುವಂತಹ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಅವನ ತಾಯಿಗೆ, ಕವಿಯ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಸಹಿಸಲಾಗದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ತಲೆನೋವು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆ ತಲೆನೋವು ಒಂದು ಸೀಸನ್ ತಲೆನೋವು, ಮತ್ತು ಆ ಒಂದು ಹೂವುಗಳು ಕೂಡ, ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಹೂವುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಸೀಸನಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Then let us move to the other stanza. Now we have come to know that reason, complete reason for the angry of the poet, which was expressed in the first stanza. So champak trees are the reason, and not only that, they have bloomed the flowers. So that flowers have given headache to his mother. So that's why he is angry. So this angry that is expressed by the poet against the champak trees shows that how poet is loving his mother, how he is respecting his mother, how the care he is showing towards his mother, being a son, that we have to understand. With their street long, heavy, hung yellow pollen fog of a fragrance, no wind could shift. See how that the flowers of champak trees caused that headache to his mother. That is the question we have to keep in our mind now. So these champak trees, through their flowers, with their street long, heavy, hung in the street that champak trees have been grown up. So on that streets, that the smell and the champak trees powder, so is fallen heavily, thickly, all over the street, very thickly. That is the smell of the champak tree flowers, and it's yellow pollen fog. Pollen means that is the particles or the drops of powder. So yellow powder, fog like yellow powder, fragrance with fragrance. So fallen very thickly, spread all over the street. So because of that, the poet's mother has got the headache. See that the pollen is the powder of that champak flowers. See, you can observe the picture which is given so here in this slide, that there are some drops. Those drops are called as the yellow pollen of champak trees. Such kind of the drops fallen on the street very thickly. That is what the poet is telling. This kind of the pollen, the powder with fragrance. Fragrance means the sweet smell, was caused so to the headache of the poet's mother. This kind of thickly fallen pollen of that drops of that yellow champak flowers could not be shipped or could not be removed by anything or anybody. Now the poet is telling, no wind could shift. The wind there blows, was unable to shift this pollens of that champak flowers and the fragrance of that champak flowers. See, if the wind is unable to shift or remove that flowers powder, you can imagine that how thickness of this powder on the street. There is the inability of the wind. Not only that, so he talks about another inability. No door could shoot out from our black pillared home, whose walls had ears and eyes. So now he is going to talk about his house is also unable to stop this powder to enter into his house. See, that is the pillared, black pillared. Observe that. And shut out. See, he has a house. That house is a very strong house because it is built with black pillars. You know that the pillared house is very strong rather than other houses. So his house is very strong because it is built with a pillar, and his house door is shut out. Shut out means closed. So that even door closed, that is unable to shut out, prevent, close, stop that entering the powder of yellow champak flowers. And these, if the doors of the house is closed, it has other holes like the whose walls, the walls of the houses had ears and eyes. So that is like windows and other holes. Through those holes, that yellow powder and the fragrance of champak flowers is entering, that is not stopped, prevented by these doors. Even the doors are closed and even the house is built with pillar. That is the explanation of these two stanzas. ಈ ಎರಡು ಚರಣಗಳ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನು ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ, ಈ ಚಂಪಕ್ ಮರಗಳು ಹೂವನ್ನು ಅರಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಆ ಹೂವಿನ ಒಂದು ವಾಸನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಹೂವಿನ ಪೌಡರ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ರಸ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬೀದಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಭಾಳ ದಟ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ. ವಿತ್ ದರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಹೆವಿ ಅಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಪೋಲೆನ್ ಫಾಗ್. ಫಾಗಿನ ರೀತಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪೌಡರು, ಚಂಪಕ್ ಹೂವಿನ, ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಹೂವಿನ ಒಂದು ಪೌಡರು ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ರೆನ್ಸು ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರಸ್ತೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ, ಬೀದಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ದಟ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ದಟ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಬಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಪೌಡರನ್ನು, ಫ್ರಾಗ್ರೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀಸುವ ಗಾಳಿನೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನು ಓಡಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲಂತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ತಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲಂತೆ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ದಟ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ. ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿಸೋದು ಅಂತ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗದೇ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಹೂವಿನ ಪೌಡರು ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ರೆನ್ಸು ರಸ್ತೆಗಳ ತುಂಬ, ಬೀದಿಗಳ ತುಂಬ ಅದು ಹರಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದೆ, ದಟ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹರಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕವಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಮುಂದೆ, ನೋ ಡೋರ್ ಕುಡ್ ಶಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅವರ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಅವನ ಕವಿಯ ಮನೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವರ ಮನೆಯೂ ಕೂಡ. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಮಳವಾದ ಪೌಡರನ್ನು ಮನೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಮನೆಗೂ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ. ಕವಿಯ ಮನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಮನೆಗಳು ಪಿಲ್ಲರ್ನಿಂದ ಕಟ್ಟಿದರೂ ಕೂಡ, ಅಂದರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗಾಗಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದರೂ ಕೂಡ, ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಮನೆಗಳ ಡೋರ್ ಬಾಗಿಲು ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಚಂಪಕ್ ಹೂವಿನ ಪೌಡರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ರವೇಶಿಸಿದ. ಏಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಡೋರು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆದರೆ ಆ ಗೋಡೆಯ, ಆ ಮನೆಯ ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ಕಿವಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳಿದಾವಂತೆ. ಆ ಕಿವಿ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಮನೆಯ ಒಂದು ವಿಂಡೋಸ್ಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೋಲುಗಳು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವುಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಆ ಒಂದು ಚಂಪಕ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಪೌಡರು ಮತ್ತು ಪರಿಮಳ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ತನ್ನ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಸಿವಿಯರ್ ಹೆಡೇಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಮೈಗ್ರೇನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಸಫರ್ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕೋಪದಿಂದ ಕವಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ. ದಿಸ್ ಹೌಸ್ is compared to human being. That is called personification. So the poet has used here personification. So personification ಅಂದರೆ ಜೀವ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ಜೀವ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ವರ್ಣಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಸಾನಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಕವಿ ಒಂದು ಮನೆಯನ್ನು ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ರೀತಿ ವರ್ಣಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದರೆ ಆ ಮನೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಿವಿಗಳಿದ್ದು, ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಕವಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ದಟ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ಸ್ ಬೋನ್ ಕ್ರೀಕ್ಸ್ ನೈಟ್ಲಿ ವಿಸಿಟಿಂಗ್ ವಾಯ್ಸಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವರ್ ಫೋರಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅಸ್. ದಟ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್. In the same manner, and as human beings activities are there, that house is also doing some activities. It scales, it measures, it smells the smell of the champak trees. Bone creaks, it makes sounds also, as that the human being is doing some kind of the sound, like that the poet's house is also doing. Nightly visiting voices, it hears the voices. So if any person comes to the house, that the house is going to listen the voices, especially nightly. And our porous, to that house there are porous means walls. So like us, like human beings, that house has walls, as we know that the man has navarandragalu. So in the same manner, that the poet's house has also walls. Through these walls, that the champak flowers powder and fragrance is entering into his house, and this is the reason that his mother is suffering from a severe headache. So how, in this manner, that the poet has come to his house, and there he he has taken a decision. That decision is to cut down his 3 champak trees which are grown in the yard of his house. So again, so why he is going to cut the trees is behind of this decision there is a deep love towards his mother. So this decision of the son anyhow or however come to the mind of the mother. Now mother is going to express his anger. Till now that the son has expressed his anger against the trees, champak trees. Now the mother is going to express her anger, her irritation against his son because of his decision to cut down the champak trees. Let us see how that mother is going to express her anger and what are the reasons for his anger. But mother is the poet's mother, yet another character in the poem. But mother flashing her temper, the mother is expressing her anger more stronger than his son. That is flashing on the face of his son like lightning. Flashing means sudden light or sudden beat. If a sudden light falls on your face, what will be your situation? In such manner that the poet's mother's anger is flashed on a poet. In this way, that the poet's mother is protesting against cutting down the trees. This temper or the angry mother's nature is compared to our mother's nature here in this stanza. Like our mother's twisted silver grandchildren's knickers. Our angry was like our mother's angry. Our mother had expressed against our grandchildren's. So our angry is compared to that the twisted silver. Twisted silver is a silver rod that is shining in such a manner that the poet's mother's anger is twisted and shining also against her grandchildren. So then she is going to hang the knickers of her grandchildren that were on the twisted rod, that is a silver rod. Why it is twisted? According to me, twisted means when we get angry, our forehead will be wrinkled in such a manner so that the wrinkling and shining both were there on the face of our mother. In the same manner, she is expressing that angry against hers. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕವಿ ಈ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನ ತಾಯಿ ಅವನು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಮರವನ್ನು ಕಡಿಬೇಕು, ಕಡಿಯೋದರಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಬರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಬರುವಂಥ ತಲೆನೋವು ನಿಂತು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕವಿಯ ತಾಯಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಪಗೊಳ್ತಾಳೆ. ಅವನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಕವಿ ಚಂಪಕ್ ಮರಗಳ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಕೋಪಗೊಂಡಿದ್ನೋ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬರುವಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ, ಈಗ ಬಂದ ನಂತರ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ಕಡಿತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಅದು ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿ ಅವಳು ತನ್ನ ಕೋಪವನ್ನು ಮಿಂಚಿನ ರೀತಿ ಎರಚ್ತಾಳೆ ತನ್ನ ಮಗನ ಮೇಲೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವಳು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ವಿರೋಧಿಸ್ತಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವಳ ಕೋಪವನ್ನು ಅವಳ ತಾಯಿಯ ಕೋಪಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕವಿ. ಅವಳ ತಾಯಿನೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಟ್ವಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್, ಏನು ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ರಾಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ರಾಡಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಬಟ್ಟೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಡ್ರೈ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಆ ಕಾರಣದ ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ರಾಡಿನ ರೀತಿ, ಹೊಳೆಯುವ ರೀತಿ ಅವಳು ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕೋಪವನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾಳೆ. ಆ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ಸ್ ನಿಕ್ಕರ್ಸ್, ಅವಳ ಮೊಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳ ನಿಕ್ಕರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು, ಬಟ್ಟೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಕುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ರಾಡ್, ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವಳು ಕೋಪವನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆಟ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆನ್ ಹರ್ ಹೆಡ್. On her head there was cold. Cold means why? Because when we get angry, our face will be sweated. So in the same manner that the mother's forehead is also sweated, and because of that sweat she has drops on her sweating drops on her forehead. That's why she is cold. Would not let us cut down this kind of the angry, this kind of the mother's temper would not let the poet to cut down the flowering trees, the champak trees. Now the mother is going to give the reasons why these trees should not be cut down. In the further stanza she gives the reasons. She gives, according to the mother, a flowering tree almost as old as her, seeded, she said, by a passing bird's providential droppings. She says the reasons that the champak trees should not be, why champak trees should not be cut down. She says the one point, the champak trees and she, the age of champak trees and her age almost same. So this woman, this mother and the champak trees have been grown up together like friends, like companions. So because of that, the trees should not be cut down. See, the mother, the uneducated mother, she has no any kind of education. That mother has expressed her love towards the champak trees. She sees a friend in those trees. She sees a companion in those trees. So that temper, that mentality of the mother could not let the poet to cut down. And she says this is one reason. She says another reason why these trees should not be cut down. She says further, seeded, she said, seeded. See, these champak trees, seeded or planted not by herself, not by the poet, but by passing birds, the birds which are flying. Those birds have planted these champak trees. Not I have planted and not you have planted, my dear son. These are planted by the birds. Those birds are providential. Those birds are providential. Those birds are divine birds. These such kind of the birds have planted these champak trees through their droppings. Droppings means excrete or solid waste after the digestion of the food that the birds are going to put out. That is called the waste. Through that waste, that the seeds of champak trees have been fallen on the earth. Through that waste of the birds, so providential birds, that the divinely godly birds have planted these champak trees, and that's why these champak trees should not be cut down. That the poet's mother is telling. See, another point in the mind of the uneducated woman we are going to see. See, in the champak trees, she has seen the God, the worshipping nature, the good woman, prudential good woman, ಶುಭ ಶಕುನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೈ ತಾಯಿ ದೇವರನ್ನೇ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಮರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಂತಂದರೆ, ತಾಯಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ಈ ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಮರಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ನಾನು ಒಂದೇ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನವರು. ಆ ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಮರಗಳು ನಾನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಜೊತೆಯಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ನೀನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ತಾಯಿ ಮುಂದುವರೆದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ಈ ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ಸೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು, ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು, ನೆಟ್ಟಿರೋದು, ಬೀಜ ಹಾಕಿರೋದು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ. ಕವಿನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ನೆಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಮರಗಳು ಬೆಳೀಲಿ ಅಂತ ಬೀಜ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ, ತಾಯಿನೂ ಕೂಡ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಯಾರು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಈ ಅನ್ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ವುಮನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ, ಕವಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮರಗಳು ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಹಾರಿ ಹೋಗುವ ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳು, ದೇವರ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ಹಾಕಿರುವ ಒಂದು ಹಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಅವುಗಳು ಹಾಕಿರುವ ಹಿಕ್ಕೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಆ ಬೀಜ ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ. ಅದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಈ ಒಂದು ಚಂಪಕ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ಗಳು ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ದೇವರನ್ನು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ, ಶುಭ ಶಕುನವನ್ನು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೀನು ಈ ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಾಯಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ she says another reason also. So these champak trees to give our gods and our daughters and daughters' daughters basket full of annual flower. She says further, not only that, my dear son, these champak trees give our gods. These champak trees are giving flowers in order to worship our gods for reverential purpose, to submit our belief. These champak trees are providing gods, and these flowers will be decorated on God while worshipping. Not only that, my dear son, these champak trees are also providing the flowers for the members of our family, for the daughters and daughters' daughters. See, repetition of daughters 3 times. So that the champak trees are giving the flowers to the members, especially the female members of that house, the flowers. Not only one generation of daughters, it will be given generation after generation. Daughters and daughters' daughters. It indicates generation after generation. So for gods, these champak trees are going to provide for the worship purpose. And what is the purpose of the champak flowers to these daughters? The purpose of these daughters is to be decorated themselves. So these champak trees are giving, so both to the god and the daughters, a basket full of annual flower, that is butti tumba, that is basket full of annual flower. Those champak trees are providing both to God as well as to the members of the family. ಸೊ ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನು ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಚಂಪಕ್ ಮರಗಳು ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಬುಟ್ಟಿ ತುಂಬ ಹೂಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತವೆ. ಆ ಹೂವುಗಳು ದೇವರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೀವಿ, ದೇವರನ್ನು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ, ಸಂತತಿಗಳ ನಂತರ ಸಂತತಿಗಳ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಮುಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಶೃಂಗಾರ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಆ ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಮರಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಹೂವನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಗನೇ, ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ನೀನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ, ಕಡಿದು ಹಾಕಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಾಯಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೂ lines we are going to see yet another thing. And for one line of cousins, see, these champak trees are providing the flowers not only for the members, daughters and the gods. These champak trees are giving the flowers for one line of cousins, all kind of relations. To all kind of cousins means relations here. So all kind of the relations that the champak trees is providing the flowers. That's why it has to be that the champak trees are not to be cut down according to the mother. See how uneducated women of faith in the environment or in the trees, that we educated people don't have, that the poet doesn't have. That is what we have to know here. Okay, last line. A door of migrants in season. Yes, it gives negative point. A doer, it is a gifter. It is a given. It is giving up migraines. Yes, the champak trees are giving me migraines. That is in season only. That is in season only, a temporary. Only because of that negative, so that the qualities are the negative aspects of that the champak trees, so we should not cut down those. Rather than this, we have to think about the positive nature, the positivity in the champak trees. By thinking that positivity, my dear son, we should not cut these champak trees. That is the explanation of the poem Ecology here. So that is we can see the other meanings that are in detail in the explanation that comes after this. Let us see the explanation. The poem Ecology, you can use, my dear students, you can use this explanation which is given in different slides as notes in your examination. The poem Ecology is written by A.K. Ramanujan. He is one of the most well-known poets in the field of Indian English literature. His poem is taken from his third volume of poems, Second Sight. The poet has written this poem in one sentence consisting 32 lines by using literary devices. In this poem, he tells us about how he loves his mother and how his mother loves the trees. By telling this, the poet reveals us the message that how the strong bondage among the living organisms is established in the world. In the poem, as we noticed, we have two human characters. They are son and mother. Here the son may be the poet himself. When the poem begins, the poet or the speaker was not in the home with his mother, as I explained earlier. He was coming home from far away. That means he might have gone on some job. He was coming home immediately after the first rain of the yearly monsoon with angry mood. At this moment, we ask ourselves the reason for his anger. For our question, we will get an answer in the next two stanzas. The reason for his anger is that as he came to know from a mile away from his house, 3 champak trees bloomed the flowers in the yard of his house. That champak trees used to bloom the flowers after the first rain in every year. The flowers that spread fragrance and the fog-like yellow powders brought the migraine to his mother, a very bad kind of a day to his mother. It was often causing a person to vomit also. The mother of the sufferer was suffering from that unbearable migraine. That made the son to be angry, because he is loving and taking care of her health reverentially and devotionally. He knows that being the son, it is his duty and responsibility of the mother's well-being. The champak trees have spread unstoppable fragrance and yellow drops all over the streets and houses. Further, the poet describes the inability to stop the fragrance and the fog-like strong and heavy yellow powders of the champak flowers on the street and the houses. The poet says the wind is unable to blow the yellow droplets of the champak flowers which is fallen on the streets. Here we can know how strong is the smell and the pollen of the flowers. Even the closed doors of the speaker's house cannot prevent the strong smell from entering the house, because the walls of the house are able to absorb almost everything, the sounds, sights, the human voices. It has eyes and ears like human beings, through which the fragrance and the powder enters into the house. Therefore, the house cannot stop the fog of pollen dust from the champak trees. Here the poet is personifying the house. The poet, adhering to the importance of his mother's health, decides to cut down the champak trees and to stop the cause for the severe headache of his mother permanently. This is the love and devotion of the son towards his mother. But the mother very angrily protests the idea of cutting down the tree, even though she is suffering very badly from the migraine caused by it. Her anger was twisted silver like lightning flash and sweated on her head like wet knickers of the grandchildren. Here we can see how she loves and devotes the champak trees, a part of environment. She has a kind of emotional attachment to the tree. She says further the reasons why the trees not to be cut down. She says the trees are her companion because they are of the same age and grown up together. Not for this reason only she is devoted towards them, but also they are seeded or planted by the flying birds through their droppings. And the mother indirectly says that the trees have been grown up naturally and nature gives everything to man without his demand. As she says, the champak trees are gifted to both God and man. The flowers which provide every year will be afforded to gods and be worshipped in one way, and in another way the champak flowers will be afforded to daughters and cousins, that is generation after generation, for decorating purpose. Here we can come to know that the mother looks in the champak trees devotional God as well as relationship with her daughters and cousins. Despite the seasonal headache caused by the flowers, the mother is loving and devoting the trees. Therefore, the mother angrily protests against her son not to cut the champak trees. Thus, the poet brings out a small combat between the son and the mother, in which the mother, being a woman, shows she too has power to save the environment. Along with this, we have modernity and tradition, old generation and new generation, love and devotion, and positive and negative ideas. The poem tells a keynote to man that for his well-being and survival, maintaining unity among all the living organisms is must and important. Therefore, the title ecology to the poem is very apt. He has a mastery of words, and in his poem, each word is used adroitly, attentively, accurately, economically, and connectively.